What's going on, fellas? This is the Week 10 edition. Sorry I missed last week. Week 10 edition of the Power Rankings for the Henry County Hard Knocks Fantasy Football League. I am Eric, your resident power ranking maker. I don't know, something like that. But anyways, as you can see, I got a new setup. I was inspired by my buddy Cam. I think all y'all know Cam. He created a video for a different league and whatnot, but it was really cool. So I'm going to be doing these things from here, from this spot from now on. So this was going to be super quick. I wrote everything down. I'm going to try a new format. So hopefully it works out okay. But let's go ahead and get started with number 8. You know who it is, Destruction 2.0. Funny enough, 2.0 has 2 wins, 2-7 in 8th place. Right now, 3 games out of the playoffs. So he obviously has lots of confidence in his team because he has made the fewest moves, waiver moves in the league this year. So I would suggest, or like maybe just throwing it out there, maybe you need to turn that roster a little bit and hope for some luck too. Hope for some teams in front of you to lose to secure a playoff spot. Once we're in the playoffs, anything can happen, but you got to get there. Number 7 is going to be the fuck ups. Nick Johnson's team, 3-6. This is like his perennial place is in my power rankings is 7th. So he's familiar with this spot here. He's 2 games out of the playoffs. So it could definitely happen for you, Nick. You can definitely sneak up in there in 6th place. Funny enough, he publicly blamed his lack of success on DJ Moore, who he said, and I quote, "That piece of shit was supposed to be a top 5 wide receiver this year." I don't know. Don't pass the buck, man. He's only averaging 133.26 points per game, but he'll really have to try and step his game down if he wants to match his all-time league record, so from 2012, of least points averaged per game. So if that's what you're going for, Nick, go ahead and try and make even worse roster decisions. Now, teams 2nd through 6th in the standings are all 5-4. With our current first place team, he is at 6-3. So we're all super close, like stacked together. So anything can happen between. We basically have these next 4 weeks, including week 10, to secure playoff positions and playoff rankings or matchups and all that stuff. So it's going to be freaking fun. Everybody's still competing. Everybody's still competitive for those 2 first-round buys. So first and second place get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Number 6 is my team, America's team, America. Doo-doo Butter. I'm 5-4. I'm averaging the most rush yards per game, pretty much only because of Dalvin Cook, because he's been a monster this past 2 weeks. I saw some funny like stats out there that he just in the past 2 weeks, Dalvin Cook has averaged more rush yards than like 6 teams in the NFL. That's freaking crazy. He's been killing it. My flex this week is not great. Patchwork, Duke Johnson, Jarrett McKinnon, and sources say that might change when I'm doing a little tinker stinker time on the toilet before game time, before game day, game time, whatever you want to call it. So this is a fun stat here. I got little fun stats for the rest of the teams. I set the high mark for most points scored by individual defensive players in week 3 this season. Guess who I played in week 3? Old Big Chill Squad 2K20. Guess who I'm playing in week 10? Big Chill Squad 2K20. So Jamal Adams, 25 points. Darius Leonard, he already let me down. But Jamal Adams, 25 points. Go ahead and freaking check mark it because it's going to happen. Number 5, we have Mini Chapas. He's actually he's 5-4. Obviously, the rest of us 5-4 except for Dean's team. He is currently in 4th place, but he's number 5 in the power rankings. He's still yet to spend any fab. The free agent acquisition budget, the waiver money that we give you. Maybe the commission to send a tutorial video out or something on how to use that. So I don't know. I don't know why he hasn't spent any fab. I guess, maybe he doesn't know how to. Somebody needs to show him. Jason or Nick, get on that. Got Nick Chubb back this week. That's freaking awesome for your team. Like legitimately very, very good for your team. So Nick Chubb is officially back. And he will be playing this week against, I forgot who they're playing against, never mind. But it is a good matchup if my memory serves me correctly. And this team is actually tied for the most touchdowns scored with 69. Nice. Number 4, Didn't do nothing. That's Corey's team. He's 5-4. He's actually in 5th place in the standings, 4th place in the power rankings. Just bad luck, man. Michael Thomas returns, and then you lose David Montgomery to the concussion protocol. There's a couple things. It's going to sound a little personal, and it kind of is a little personal here. You have the least points scored against you, and that just doesn't sit well with me. I don't like that. But I do know, and I just want everyone else to know that Corey has been known to use voodoo to influence contests such as beer pong, and I guess he's expanded now into fantasy football. So watch out for him. He's more than likely using some sort of black magic, occult, voodoo, something or another to stay competitive right now. So just be aware. Number 3, we got VA Cowboy Killer, Bryson's team, 5-4. He's 3rd place in the standings, 3rd place in the rankings as well. So we're going to see how he does this week without Patrick Mahomes, who's one of his keepers, and then Travis Kelce, who's just been a stalwart of freaking consistency this season. So let's see how deep this team is. I'm curious to see how it goes. 2nd fewest waiver moves, but he spent $81 in fab. So obviously he's making big, impactful, efficient moves and pickups. So that's good to see. And those receivers on his team might be heating up. He had the most receiving yards of any team this entire season last week. I think it was 609, if my memory serves. So might have those wide receivers heating up. We're going to find out this week if you maintain that pace. All right, number 2, we have the Dean team. Yes, the Dean team is number 2 in the power rankings. He is number 1 in the standings at 6-3. However, I'll give you kind of my line of rationale as to why he's not number 1 in the power rankings. He's actually more in line with like the lower half of the league. So, teams 5-8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, those 4 in terms of points scored. His team has scored about like his team should be more in line with that as averages work out. This is obviously a game of matchups, so the averages don't always they don't always do what they're supposed to do, quote unquote supposed to do, but it almost always does average out everything regresses to the average at some point. So sorry, I really botched that explanation. So y'all just forgive me. So he is more in line with the lower half of the league as far as points scored. He's had 2nd fewest points scored against him, so he's right behind Corey in that aspect. So that does tell me there is an element of good luck at play. That's cool. Like, fantasy football has a ton of luck involved in it. But as I said, that luck does give way to mathematical, to statistics, to probability in the end. We'll see if it does this year. It might not. He might get his 4th trophy. Please, for the love of God, I hope that doesn't freaking happen. But last week he did suffer his first loss since week 3. So he was on a rampage there. So I'm curious, are we going to see a bounce back or are we going to see a collapse now? We'll see how that goes. Miles Sanders is back, so that's going to help to have a bounce back. As that man is nasty. He's a really, really, really good football player, and he's going to be a great addition to the Dean team for the kind of final stretch run to the playoffs. And then number 1, God dang it, I hate even doing this, y'all. I don't live around near where he is, so y'all have to deal with his insane bragging and stuff like that. But number 1, Big Chill Squad 2K20. He's 5-4. He's 2nd place in the league right now. Like I said, I do hate feeding his ego, but I sincerely think he has the best roster in the league. So that's why he's number 1. He's scored nearly 100 points more than the next closest person. He's averaging 170 points, 170 plus points per game. And I think he's hit 200 or more like 4 times this season, 3 or 4 times. So that's rough. And then, he's officially in the driver's seat because he's won. I thought this was kind of cool. He's won 3 out, not cool, but interesting. He's won 3 out of the last 4 weeks, and he finally has a fully healthy team with Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, and their companion, their amigos, their companions, their compatriots. So that's it. This video ended up being way longer than I meant it to be, but sorry about that. I'm gonna get out of here hopefully in the next minute or so. And sorry, like I said, for missing last week's power rankings. I'm trying to be better at it. But anyways, let's enjoy some football this week. I'm super excited for tomorrow. Let's get after it. We'll see y'all next week. Later.